Businesses that advertise on BelchertownNews.com have the benefit of an ad that appears on every page that links to their respective websites. Therefore, a link can be interpreted as a portal to potentially unlimited advertising space for that business. Another option is a 30-second spot prior to news videos embedded with different news articles, or an infomercial that can appear in the advertising section. Advertising is not only better on BelchertownNews.com, it is also less expensive than print advertising, allowing you to keep your advertisement going year-round without breaking the bank.
At that point, I'd like to turn you over to Senator Brewer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I visited many of the trustees of reservations and properties, and if you get a chance to visit, whether it's the Mountain, Jones Falls, Royalton, and a whole bunch of other places, they're really good. And, I don't have the town of Belchertown in my Senate district anymore. I wish I did, quite honestly. They had given 2 state senators to give to Belchertown now, but I used to do it with 1. But nevertheless, I'm glad to be back here. For 15 years or so, Belchertown was one of the top, fastest growing communities in Massachusetts. 15 consecutive years. You're on school campuses here. I did the groundbreakings for every one of these, the elementary, the middle, and the high school. And all of that, I even know that this high school, and Al, we sure would love to have this building, 180,000 square feet, back when the state used to do about 75% of the share of the building. So the Belchertown Land Trust is trying to eke out and save a bit of land that's just getting gobbled up and gobbled up. We all benefit when that happens. Oftentimes the state doesn't have enough money to secure land and protect land in a timely manner. Matter of fact, I don't know when the state government does anything really on time anyway. But nevertheless, the land trust operation, whether it's Mount Grace Land Trust, the Opacum down in the Sturbridge area, or certainly Belchertown Land Trust, they hold that land oftentimes prior to the state getting conservation restrictions or anything else. So BLT does a fine job. They are not the enemy tonight. The Office of DM Safety has come forward with a number of ideas. Because my Senate district is bigger than the state of Rhode Island, I have some scenic visitors, but the road from Bondsville to Route 9 is one of the finest and nicest roads I've ever traveled. I love that road. I use that road, not because I have to sometimes, but because I want to. Quite honestly, it is very, very nice and provides a real value to all of us. The Swift River Sportsmen's Club, my friends over there, that I've taken care of the sportsmen for 20 years in the legislature. So we all have an interest, I think, in trying to protect this particular property. We lose 40 square miles of land every year in Massachusetts. How big is that? The city of Boston's city limits is 40 square miles. My hometown of Barry is 40 square miles. It's a pretty big chunk of land that we lose every year. It's tougher and tougher to hold on to. A couple of issues here. The BLT is dealing with buying more time for discussions from the Office of DM Safety. I want to tell you right now that I will work with you. You now have 6 legislators on your side in this regard. Senator Canderas, Senator Rosenberg, Representative Petrolati, Representative Kulik. That's just for Belchertown. And Rep. Smoller and myself down in the Palmer area as well, to try to work on buying more time. I think time is very important to buy it so we can have intelligent discussions of trying to do the best thing for the people that live on this area. I came at the invitation of not one single person in this room, and I want you to know that no one wrote me a letter and said, come. And quite honestly, any other legislators that would are coming go, you're going and you weren't invited to this hornet's nest? Well, yeah, because I will tell you, I got 29 years in the office from when I went to work for Bob Whitmore in 1980 to 2009, 29 years, and I got 29 towns in my district. And I might have an idea or two that might be of benefit to the Belchertown Land Trust and to all of you as well. Last summer, I was invited over to Charlton, one of the towns in my district, to Glen Echo Lake. And it's way up in a section of Charlton, a very big area. So I drove up and I looked around before I went to the meeting in town hall. You can learn a lot by going to the lake first and then go to the meeting, I think. And I went there. And it's a beautiful, pristine lake. And it's with a dam owned by a private entity, or in this particular case, a 501c3, the land trust. And the Office of Dam Safety came in and told the owner of the dam, fix the dam or take it down. It will take you $380,000 to take the dam down. So he said, all right, I'm going to take it down. Well, all the neighbors, good God Almighty, we're going to have nothing but mud flats around all of these boat launching ramps and everything And so we all came to the school and had a big meeting. And during that meeting, the landowner said, you know, I'm willing to do half of it, but I need some cost share. You guys all have the benefit of these houses on this water. Well, the selectmen were there as well, and the selectmen realized that if it became a mud flat, the property values of those properties would go down as well. It's a hell of a lot difference between being on water and not being on water, or being on mud. So they decided, after they formed a subcommittee, a smaller group of people to work on trying to get to the end result in an adequate way. And lo and behold, they all worked it out. The town, now every example is going to be different, but I'm just bringing you an idea that I had, unannounced, unwelcome perhaps. But the town took over the ownership of the dam. They created a betterment fee for all of the people around the lake. Now the dam was built 100 years ago, so the old dam was good for the first 100 years. If you fixed it, it just might be good for another 100 years. This particular dam is 250 years, I believe. Number one. Number two is the owner said, I'll pay for half of that. 180, he did it. The owners, to some form. Now, what will it require here? Well, it's going to require where Belchertown and Palmer are all talking to each other. And the town administrator for the town of Belchertown, I am told, Gary Durham, has indicated that he would be happy to broker these ongoing discussions. Number one. Number two is, it's going to need a champion. I'm not going to single anybody out. But I will take an example of when Palmer wanted to build a library. And it needed people that had vision and did the numbers and was a champion. They got themselves a pretty darn nice library. Because it won't come. I'm busy working on the Ralph Patrick's $600 million in cuts and all of the things that I get going on as well. But somebody from in this room perhaps might be able, because what you're going to have to do here when you work on these things is run the numbers. How many, not only homeowners are on this that are affected if it happened, if you lost that, but those who own a piece of unimproved property perhaps that was on that river as well. And frankly, guys, my friends, if it's a great benefit to the guys at the Swift River Sportsman's Club, maybe there's some benefit there. I don't know. I don't know these answers. I don't know the particulars. I haven't read the engineering studies or any of those things. But I will throw something out for you guys to think about, at least. That's why I came to Belchertown. For people to work together collectively. We're going to try to buy you time with this Office of Dam Safety. These people didn't want to have this hornet's nest going on either. They thought they were going to go on and get this really great piece of land, and then next thing you know, what happens is if dams do break, and everybody gets hurt down at the other end of this dam, they could, what the hell was the government doing? Well, the government, the taxpayers told the government, well, we're not going to pay you to have all this money to fix up 1,000 or 2,000 dams. They went back to the owners of the dams. So it's a big circle. But the resolution of this big circle, from my experience at Glen Echo Lake and Charlton, might be from within yourselves working. There's a lot more to be done, and I'm not an engineer or anything else. But it's just something to think about. And that's really all I got to say. But if we work together, the most beautiful road in my district, one of the great, great fishing areas, that everybody has a collective responsibility. The legislators will check. You saw with the trustees, all these fishing wild. You know, people in land protection ought to know that 40,000 acres of land that has been protected in this state came from the sportsmen saying, give us an assessment on our hunting and fishing licenses of $5 or more. They asked the legislature to raise their tax on their license so it would go onto land, and they only had one caveat, that it have the presumption of openness, that they could go out there and use that. I commend the sportsmen for protecting 45,000 acres of land if it was that vicinity. So I will end. I just think that there is an opportunity here to all work together. As Larry the cable guy would say, you can get her done.